Okay, in this audio file review, I'm going to ask a series of questions, and then after I ask the question, I'll give you a brief pause so that you can stop the computer or stop your iPod or whatever device you're playing this file in, this MP3 file in, and then to give you a chance to think of your own answer. And then I'll go ahead and give the suggested response. So let's start off with the first one. Sally and Joe recently graduated from college, both majoring in history. Joe took a prestigious job as a legal clerk, and Sally took a job as a specialist in fighting forest fires. Now both received additional training before entering their jobs. Who will likely earn a higher salary and why? Okay, at this point, you want to take the time to go ahead and stop the player so you can think about an answer. Alright, well, we can identify two reasons that Sally will likely to earn more. First, Joe has a prestigious job, and these are usually less well compensated because people find these positions desirable. Second, Sally appears to have taken a job that involves a certain amount of risk. Jobs with risk tend to receive higher compensation. Alright, let's move on now to the second question. Now, given the amount of time and other costs of investing in human capital that it takes to earn a PhD, why are college professors paid less than other occupations that require similar or lesser amounts of human capital? Well, go ahead and click on the pause key so you can think up an answer, and when you're back, I'll provide you with a suggested response. Okay, the suggested response is the following. If being a college professor is considered prestigious, the compensation need not be as great. Also, there are aspects of this profession that many people find desirable. Hours are flexible, the environment is clean and safe, there are long vacations during the year, and professors can usually take summers off. Alright, let's move on now to question number 3. Ethel does not like redheads and refuses to hire any at her business. Paul was the perfect job candidate on paper, but the personal interview revealed that he was a redhead. Are there any costs to Ethel for not hiring Paul? Okay, at this time, make the effort to pause your device so you can think up a suggested response. Alright, good. Well, the answer is that in economics we believe this type of discrimination has a cost. In this case, Ethel does not get the best person for the job. It's likely that her second choice will not be as productive, and also Paul could end up working for one of Ethel's competitors. Thus the competition has improved its position relative to Ethel's business. Let's move on to number 4. Now, in the late 1800s, Bernard made buggy whips. Their quality was such that people came from hundreds of miles to buy the whips. As mechanized transportation developed, horse-drawn buggies largely disappeared, and so did the demand for Bernard's whips. Would Bernard have been better off if these new modes of transportation had never been invented? Alright, go ahead and pause the machine, and I'll provide you with a suggested response. Now, while Bernard's case is a bit difficult, we can clearly say that society is better off with automobile, truck, and air travel. Bernard saw his unique talent made obsolete, and he most likely went out of business. But what other job opportunities were created by the new modes of transportation? Did Bernard get one of these jobs and with greater earnings? Also, like everyone else, Bernard benefited from the reduced transportation costs and wider availability of goods that the technology brought. Let us move on now to question number 7. Happy Land is a country devoted to consumption. The inhabitants spend all of their income on pleasurable things, virtually none on capital investment, human or otherwise. Serious Land is frugal, spending very little on consumption and a great deal on human and physical capital. 10 years from now, which country would you prefer to inhabit? Alright, go ahead and pause your device and think up a response. Okay, here's the suggested answer. Clearly, Happy Land cannot continue in its present state. With no investment, there will be a decline in productivity, and income should decline accordingly. On the other hand, Serious Land is engaged in a course that will generate both productivity and income growth. Over the long run, Serious Land will be a much better place to live. Okay, we're now on the last question, number 6. Joanne states, the best way to increase the wages of workers is to increase worker productivity. Is Joanne correct? Why or why not? Go ahead and press on the pause button on your device, and I'll provide you with the suggested response in a moment. Well, Joanne is correct. High productivity is the source of high wages. When the output per hour of workers is high, the real wages of the workers will also be high. Okay, this ends this audio segment.